Okay, welcome everybody. I just want to introduce you today. This is Rita Bailey. She is a dietitian with Lewis Hospital. She is going to be talking to us, and she actually will be the person that's presenting all 5 sessions for us through over the next 5 months. So we're going to end this in October, right about the time that we're getting our blood screening accomplished. So we're going to start today. We're going to talk about nutrition for the next 4 or 5 months, and then we'll end that. Hopefully you guys will have learned something, and have our blood screening done about the 3rd week of October. So I'm going to just turn it over to Rita, and if you have questions, please just let us know.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I do represent Lewis Hospital, and we're talking about heart-healthy eating, weight management, blood pressure control, cholesterol control. But today we chose the topic, how to lose weight without dieting. Has anyone ever tried to lose weight, been on a diet? Maybe no one ever has an issue with that in this group, and that's fortunate because 2/3 of our population is overweight. And that's a startling fact when you consider that obesity contributes to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugars. So a lot of things like stress to your hips and your knees. And since I work on the orthopedic floor at Lourdes, I know the effect it can have on your whole health. So dieting. You may have friends or family members who also go on diets. Have you ever heard of the names of some of these diets? Little catchy phrases like the Mayo Clinic diet, or eat all you want and lose weight diet, or lose weight while you sleep diet, or the water diet, or the low carbohydrate diets, low fat diets. There's been a lot of different diets out there, and every day you pick up the newspaper, you see some kind of publicity about how to lose weight or how to manage your weight. What do you think the real trick to losing weight or managing weight is?
Quit eating.
Exercise, that's what I do.
Exercise is very important because that it burns off those calories that we might take in that are excessive. Most of our calorie needs actually are met even while we're sleeping. It's only a few extra calories we burn off through exercise. Some of you may be more physically active and need more calories for that, but I'd say the basal metabolism of most people is going to be 1,800 calories. The labels on most food products tell you that 2,000 calories is what the average person needs per day. So how do we gain weight? If we can eat 2,000 calories just to maintain our weight, how do people gain weight then? What are they doing that causes that?
Eating the wrong foods.
They may be eating calorie-dense foods, yes, so it may not seem like a lot, but a lot of calories are consumed there. It can just be a little bit of extra calories per day, and that's what a lot of people just don't realize. It may be that you eat 100 extra calories today and tomorrow and the next day, and 35 days later you've gained 1 pound. So it wasn't even noticeable to you. It might have just been that one portion of something that was calorie-dense. It may have been that you were just not very active that day at all, so those calories were excessive, but it can accumulate. Now that is the same way that we as nutritionists recommend that you lose weight, that you decrease your calorie needs just a little bit, you intake just a little bit. But most of these diets that I just talked about are extreme. Now they want you to go on less than 1,000 calories, which you cannot meet your nutritional needs by eating like that. So as a dietitian, I don't even recommend that you diet. I recommend that you use good common sense techniques to control your weight. And that just means exercising as much as what you need to do to keep your weight good and eating appropriately. So let's boil that down. This is 5 pounds, or represents 5 pounds of body fat. I don't use this to gross you out. I'm just saying that if you lost a pound a week, this is the amount of weight that you'd lose in a month. Now, most people don't like it when we nutritionists say you lose 1 pound a week is what we recommend. That's just not fast enough because there's all kinds of claims out there that you can lose 10 pounds in this diet. But if you do that, you're not losing just fat. You're losing muscle, you're losing fluid. And most of those people who go on those extreme diets, what do? They put it all back on, right? And when you do put it back on, you usually put on a greater percentage of body fat as well. So losing 1 pound a week, how can you do that? If you have a deficit of 500 calories per day, in 1 week you've lost a pound. It's just that simple. Well, let's say that you only had a deficit of 250 calories a day, but you exercise an extra 250. You lose a pound a week. So diets don't have to hurt, but I think our mentality is I want to get this over with so I can go back to eating the way I used to. And that's why people gain it all back. So as a nutritionist, again, I'm going to recommend that you just think about some simple things you can do. They're not going to be painful. They'll enable you to maintain your weight or lose weight as needed. For example, 1 cup of whole milk has the equivalent of 1.5 teaspoons of fat. The difference in that in skim milk that's the calorie difference. It's just the fat. This one has no fat. This one has 1.5 teaspoons. This one has 1 teaspoon. So simply by switching from whole milk with 150 calories to the skim milk with 90 calories, you'd say 60 calories right there. If that's 2 glasses a day, 120 calories. You're halfway to our goal if 250 cutoff was your goal. If you chose to use something like a fat-free cream cheese or a fat-free sour cream, you're going to save a lot of calories there. And again, you're still using the same volume of cream cheese, same amount of sour cream, but you just cut the calories a little bit by doing that. If you use a 3-ounce portion of meat instead of the 16-ounce portion that's mentioned on the menus in the restaurants, 16-ounce T-bones, 8-ounce ribeyes, we as dietitians recommend 3 ounces, and 3 ounces looks like this. So it's an adequate amount to meet your protein needs, but a lot of us are used to having larger amounts than that. Why do you think our mentality is to eat more, besides the fact that we enjoy the taste of food? Where is part of this coming from that we think we're supposed to eat such large volumes of food?
That's what you get when you order.
It's restaurants.
Yes. I blame the media on a lot of this. One of the lectures I'm going to present for you is called Portion Distortion, but it also fits into this lecture as well. We hear day in and day out commercials, and we see advertising. And the commercials say something to the effect of, I'm loving it. Or it implies that bigger is better, right? And actually what's going on is we are taking in excess calories, which is going to result in us gaining weight. And then we're also in a generation of the push-button society. We don't get the exercise like our grandparents or great-grandparents got. Everything is remote control. We do a lot of sitting in front of televisions, computers, even the garage door, you don't have to lift that anymore. You don't even have to get up and walk across the floor to turn the channel on the TV. We all do the remote control everything. So I do blame the fast food industry especially, so I'm going to start with them. As a nutritionist, I'm going to recommend that you eat only about 50 to 60 grams of fat a day. That's a moderation. That's not extreme. There was a time when the low-fat diets were very popular and people were eating less than 20 grams of fat a day. Their hair was falling out. They had fatty acid deficiencies. They stayed hungry all the time because fat is one of those things that gives you satisfaction or satiety. So those diets were extreme, not recommended by a dietitian. So 50 to 60 grams gives you fat, gives you that satisfaction in eating, and it's doable. But let's look at what happens if you should eat at McDonald's. If you went to McDonald's and you got the little bitty hamburger, the one you probably order for the children because it's really small, it has 12 grams of fat in it. Now remember, our budget is 50, there's 12. What if you did decide that you would eat chicken, because most of us have heard that chicken and the white meats are a whole lot better for you, and you've got the chicken sandwich. Now you're eating 27 grams of fat. Now that's about half of what I recommended all day long, and that was a chicken sandwich. Now why would the chicken sandwich versus the hamburger be worse?
Is that the grilled chicken?
No,
That's
the right answer. This was the fried chicken, but a lot of folks totally miss that. They'll order a fish sandwich or a chicken sandwich, think I'm going to be healthy today, I'm going to eat better, and they forget the fact that if it's fried, it's not better. And you get a lot more calories. Now here's the facts that are important. There are 3 nutrients in your diet that contribute calories: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates and proteins have 4 calories per gram. Fats have 9 calories per gram. So when you consume fried foods or high-fat foods, you're taking a lot more calorie-dense food in. So a small volume can be more calories than something of a different nutrient. So what if you did get the Whopper? That's what most people consider a normal-sized sandwich, and it is 38 grams of fat. Now remember, our budget was 50. This is 38. It doesn't even include the cheese, so let's put a slice of cheese on there for about another 10 grams of fat. So now we're at 48. We're right at budget, and we haven't included the French fries yet. A small order of French fries will probably be about 10 grams of fat. So now we're over budget. What are we, about 60 grams of fat? And that was only lunch. What happened if we went to the drive-up window on the way to work that morning and got the biscuit, sausage, and eggs with 40 grams of fat? Now we're at about 90 grams of fat for the day. We've still got supper, right? Let's go out and have fish, because Rita said fish is much better for you, right? So we go to Long John Silver's, and we get the 3-piece fish dinner with hush puppies, French fries, and coleslaw, fried fish, fried potatoes, mayonnaise in that, 70 grams of fat. So we eat about 170 grams of fat that day because we ate at fast foods, and most of the foods we ate were fried foods. That is at least 3 times more than what I recommended that you eat for the day. And I do believe that had a lot to do with our obesity in our nation, because we are a nation on the run and on the go. And if you've seen the documentary video the gentleman did that was called Supersize Me, if you've seen that, it really opens your eyes to the effect that eating fast foods can do. These two gentlemen saw this lawsuit. Two ladies had sued McDonald's for their weight. Now, nobody made them eat there, but that was how they didn't win their lawsuit, I suppose. So they decided to do this as an experiment. This one gentleman went to his doctor, his internal medicine doctor, his GI doctor, and to a cardiologist. And they ran him through every test they could. He was in excellent physical condition. His weight was perfect. He was a runner. He had good lab values. His cholesterol was good. His blood pressure was good. Everything was fantastic. So for 1 month, he decided he would eat at McDonald's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he would only supersize if they asked him if he wanted to supersize. Within 2 weeks of starting this program, the doctor said, "You've got to stop. You're going to die." His liver had changed so much. He looked like an alcoholic. He had so much fatty infiltration into his liver that they wanted him to quit right then and there. He completed this, but in 1 month, he gained 23 pounds. It took him 6 months to lose that. It's a lot easier to put on than to lose. And he was a runner. At the end of this month, this gentleman, and I can pass this around if you'd like to see it, he became depressed. His mood had changed totally. He was lethargic. He didn't want to go out and run anymore. And when he first started this, when he ate the big meal with the supersize and everything, he actually got sick to his stomach. He rolled the window down and threw up. At the end, he was craving it. It was like he was addicted to it. So the documentary does point out that it is what you eat that makes a difference, especially if there's high-fat foods. So something as simple as changing the type of milk that you drink can make a difference. Do any of you still drink whole milk? Good. Most of the dairy industry tells us most people are drinking 2% milk. That was introduced, and it was called low-fat at the time. It's not called low-fat anymore because when they legally defined what low-fat meant, it no longer qualified to be called low-fat. It's reduced fat, and that's how they renamed it, but it's not low-fat, so it still has a teaspoon of fat in it. So this would, again, save you about 90 calories by drinking the fat. It is only 90 calories, saves you about 60 calories. If your complaint is, "I don't want to drink skim milk because it looks watered down and diluted," because that's what most people say, the difference is the way it looks. It's a visual thing, and we are creatures of habit. If you were used to looking at skim milk, then this stuff would look disgusting. It would seem thick and slimy, and it leaves a little film in the glass, and you can actually taste the fat if you're not used to it. It tastes kind of a rancid taste. So it's whatever you get used to. But they also give you another option. They've come up with products called Fat-Free Plus or Fat-Free Deluxe. And these products look like and taste like 2%, but they're actually fat-free. So they still have a low-calorie benefit and low cholesterol benefit. So if you've not made the change to fat-free milk, you might want to consider using this. And
What
see
do
how
they
you
do to that to make it better?
They add some natural milk ingredients back to it, like whey, which gives it a whiter, creamier texture. So it's not bad. It's just gives you that visual of whiter milk rather than the more diluted milk. Now, I'm used to skim milk, and the other stuff looks different to me, but it's just what you're used to in most cases. There was one study that was recently done that showed that when people ate more fruits and vegetables, that they lost weight. Notice I said ate more. To lose weight, we don't think about eating more. But when people included more fruits and vegetables into their diet, they lost weight. Something as simple as watching your portion sizes. But of fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables, there's really not a limit. This is what we consider a serving of vegetables. As you can see, a half a cup is a normal portion. But we recommend that you eat at least a half of your plate as vegetables, because that fills you up. They're low in calories, and therefore you feel satisfied, but you're not getting all those extra calories. The only problem, though, that I consider myself a Southerner, we Southerners, what do we do to our vegetables?
Put some butter and salt.
Yeah, it's what we do to them. The vegetables very, very low calorie. We'll say about 25 calories per half cup serving. But in the South, we put the meat grease or the butter or the oil or the margarine or some type of fat in it to make it taste good. And each teaspoon of fat, remember we said 9 grams per kilogram or per unit, 1 teaspoon of fat is about 50 calories. So if you've got a pat of margarine in your green beans or your mashed potatoes or whatever, you just jacked it up to 75 calories instead of the 25 it originally was. So just keep in mind that fats do count. It's fine to use them. We didn't take them away, but you just don't want to use the well, have you seen the people who cook with a tablespoon of margarine in a small amount? My mother was a typical Southern cook. And when she made mashed potatoes, they turned out yellow when she got done with them. My kids pulled me aside one time and said, "Why are Nana's potatoes so yellow?" And she put a stick of margarine in that bowl of mashed potatoes. Lots of fat. We like little potatoes with our margarine. Again, back to the serving size thing. This is a serving of spaghetti. What do you get when you go to a restaurant? You get a platter of spaghetti. I guess that's the low-cost part of that item. But that may be, again, your mentality. What most of us were taught when we were children is what?
Clean your plate.
Clean your plate. And it's a sin to waste food because other people in other parts of the world are starving. So we kind of are programmed. It may not be a conscious thought, but we're programmed to get that plate clean and don't stop just because you're full. So again, another thing you can do that's very simple is when you get satisfied, stop eating. You don't have to eat till the plate is empty. You can always take it home. And, again, we worry about that cost advantage. If I'm paying for this food in this restaurant, by golly, I'm going to eat it and get my money's worth, right? Isn't that the mentality? But you can always get your money's worth by having 2 meals for the price of one. Take home half of it, and you get to eat it again the next day. So you did save money that way. Another trick that you can use is just making some switches. I see you've got the baked chips today. This serving of potato chips is 230 calories and 15 grams of fat. By simply switching to the baked chips, you go to 130 calories and 2 grams of fat. So you saved 100 calories. So we had a while ago we'd saved 100. There's another 100. We're almost there. If you went all the way to the light chips, these only have 75 calories. So you've really cut your calories a lot, and you're still eating chips. You've just cut back on the amount of fat, which reduced your calorie intake. These are made with the fat substitute Olestra, and the only warning I'd give you with this is that is not absorbed by the body. That's why you don't get the calories from it, but that does mean that it's going to go on through you. So eat the amount, a portion that it says on here. Don't eat the whole bag just because, hey, it's low in calories. The original label said that the Olestra products would cause anal leakage. So just a word of caution. And if you have any kind of and that's if you had excessive amount, and if you have any kind of condition such as Crohn's disease or irritable bowel or some type of intestinal problem, you probably would not want to use that product. Another word of caution is what we consider a serving size. Never assume the obvious. This is an old package, as you can tell, but it said that there was 160 calories and 10 grams of fat in a serving. So if you grab this little bag and ate the whole thing, you just consumed 2.5 servings. Says that a serving is 1 ounce, and this bag is 2 1/4 ounces. So the actual amount of calories in this bag is 360 and 22.5 grams of fat. So read the label for what it says, not what you wanted to say. They did repackage it, and now this is a single serving, and the calories are 320. So it's a little more obvious to you what you're getting from those. Another option is to choose pretzels. Pretzels are not a diet food at all. They've always been low fat. They're not fried, so they're 110 calories. So by using pretzels instead of potato chips, you save quite a few calories too. So little things that you can do. Another caution for you, though, is a lot of people assume that if something is labeled fat-free, that means calorie-free or free to eat all you want. And in truth, one of these cookies is 50 calories. I had a patient one time that stormed into my office and slammed them down on the desk and said, "I've gained 20 pounds eating fat-free food." Yeah, because it wasn't calorie-free, and she just kind of assumed that. Talking about the seasoning of butter, another option that you have is to use something like butter buds. This is a butter salt, but it's very low in salt content. And you can sprinkle this powder directly into the liquid of your potatoes or your corn or your green beans. Gives it a nice buttery flavor. No calories, no fat. So that's one way you can cut back on calories. And again, you're still not eating any less food. Again, my mother used to think if you did not put this much fat in the bottom of a skillet, that food would stick. Now, she wasn't frying the food. She was just keeping it from sticking. But you can use a nonstick spray or nonstick skillet. Still get the fried effect for the egg or the meat or whatever you're cooking, and not add any calories to it. Because remember that fried chicken we talked about? Did add a lot of calories by doing that. How many times have you seen people go to the salad bar with the intention of eating healthy today? And they got the salad. What else did they get along with the salad?
Dressing.
You put the dressing on it, of course. And the average bottle of salad dressing has, they say on the bottle, that's 2 tablespoons is a serving. That is 16 grams of fat. Did you ever see anybody just use 2 tablespoons of salad dressing on a salad? No, they build the salad, make a little mountain, and then they snow cover that mountain with that salad dressing. they may be using half a cup of salad dressing, which is 8 tablespoons. So 4 times 16 gives you the actual amount of grams of fat that they're consuming in their healthy salad. But what else do salad bars have? They have macaroni salad, potato salad, coleslaw, fried veggies, cheese, bacon bits. They just keep on and on. So it's not really just a salad anymore, is it? It's got a lot more things. In some cases, you've been better off having the steak and french fries than eating a salad with all that extra stuff, and especially the fried stuff in the salad dressing. You do have other options, though. There are all kinds of fat for your lower calorie products. This is called a spritzer. Has a nice delicate taste. It's a raspberry bliss. You can sprinkle that or spray that onto your salad. Gives it a delightful flavor, but doesn't add all those calories. You can also use products like, I can't believe it's not butter, in the spray bottle. This makes your food taste buttery, whether it's your popcorn or your broccoli or your potato, but again, no calories or fat grams. So a significant reduction in calories. Read the labels or ask for the information when you go to the fast food places if you're not sure. They do have good choices. You can eat healthy at almost any place. They have grilled choices, they have salads, they have low-fat salad dressings, they have soft drinks that are diet. But we tend to get what we like or what we're used to having. But this, again, is the double quarter pounder with cheese. And it tells us on their package itself that it has 740 calories. Now, you add the french fries to that and the soft drink to that, and you're well over your budget for the day, or for that meal. Another problem that we're encountering, again, goes back to those portions, is people don't drink. Do you remember the Cokes that used to be 6 ounces, the little Cokes? And when I was a kid, it was a real treat to get a soft drink, and it was a small one at that. Well, now you get all the refills you want, and the containers start out huge to begin with. People tend to think of liquids as not contributing calories to their diet, but the average 12-ounce soft drink is 150 to 160 calories. I had a friend one time that was putting on weight, and she couldn't figure out why, and we got to talking, and I found out she was drinking 10 Pepsis a day. That is 1,500 calories a day just from a soft drink. So all she had to do to make a difference was just cut those out, switch to water, or even reduce them. Any change would have made a big difference. When you're only supposed to have 2,000 calories a day and you're consuming 15 in the form of soft drinks, that's a big chunk of your diet, so no wonder she was gaining weight. This is the original fast food, and I'm talking about fruit. We tend to talk about not having time for vegetables and fruits, but you can eat this in the car. It does not require any preparation. So keep fruits on hand. Have that as your dessert. Have that as your snack. Does fill you up. It's low in calories. The average fruit is usually about 60 calories per serving. So that's something we need to bring back into our lives. I say today's kids are lucky if they get that leaf of lettuce on their sandwich, because kids today that are eating in fast foods are not getting their vegetables, and that's a big difference. Does anybody have any questions?
You didn't say anything about Starbucks. You put it back down.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk about that one. If you just get coffee at Starbucks, not a problem. But they have their various sizes and the grande, and I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know the lingo, but you can get the skinny, so you reduce the amount of fat in it. But if you get their full-blown, you're sometimes getting as much as 300 calories in some of these products. So ask for their nutrition information and look at that, and then decide how you want to budget that. You need to think about your calories as being part of a budget. And if you're allowed 2,000 calories and you eat 2,000 calories, you're not going to have a weight gain. And I would say most of you know that already. You're doing that. But it only takes a little extra every day. And as we get older, metabolism slows down. So an extra 100 calories for 35 days and my metabolism slowed down can result in weight gain. And again, weight gain does have an effect on your overall health.
I do have a question about cooking oils.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones do you recommend? You got canola oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil, you got all these oils. Which one do you recommend?
I recommend canola oil and olive oil. And I will talk a lot about that in the low cholesterol lecture. Their calories are the same, though. For this lecture, it doesn't matter whether it's lard or oil, they're still about the same calories.
It's not about calories on oil.
It's about the heart healthy type of fat.
Okay.
The calories are, yeah, and a lot of people, I'm glad you asked this, a lot of people think, well, it's canola oil, and thinking, that's not going to hurt me. Well, it's still calories. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching your calories, you're trying to prevent from gaining weight or want to lose weight, it's still going to be the same calories. Okay. Mm-hmm. Good question. Any other questions? All right, we're going to be talking about portion distortion, I think, in the May lecture, and so that'll be more of the same, but in more detail. Just to give you another little, just something to think about, and again, I encourage you to get the nutrition information from these fast food places. This shows some pictures of different sandwiches, and we'll start with McDonald's. Their bacon cheese Angus burger has 820 calories. Their large French fries have 500 calories. So there's 1,300 calories just from that one meal. Burger King's Whopper has 990 calories, and that's with cheese. If you went to Taco Bell and got their Fiesta chicken salad, 850 calories. Notice it was called salad, so that implies it's healthy, not going to be hard on you. The two-piece chicken meal at Kentucky Fried Chicken, 970 calories. Pizza Hut personal pan pizza meat lovers, 890 calories. If you were to just have a turkey sandwich and fruit, you're probably getting only about 300 calories. So you can eat healthy, still feel full, eat sandwiches like you've had today, still be well within budget. Another one is the breakfast at McDonald's. I was doing a lecture one time early in the morning, so I ran by McDonald's to get a sample of their big breakfast. I had no idea 10 people would be in line in front of it at that time of day. I didn't know people did that. But the big breakfast was 1,150 calories. It included eggs, sausage, hash browns, biscuits, and pancakes. Who eats biscuits and pancakes? But it's all about, and it looks little, and it's probably very fast and economical, but on the other hand, it does over 1,000 calories. Now, they do have other things, though. They have a bacon, cheese, and biscuit for 480 calories. They have the Egg McMuffin with only 300 calories. So like I said, all these places have better choices, so we just want to be more informed. Okay, thank you very much for your time and attention today.